In this video is a tutorial on content writing for beginners, especially when you're not a writer. Now, I'm not going to cover everything you need to know in one video, but I am going to accomplish this over the next 10 videos, with this one being the first installment. As a business owner, you're going to be called upon to manage a variety of tasks, and creating content is one of those. And because content is critical to running a successful organic strategy, and with a lot of emphasis being placed on creating quality content, writing can be a scary and potentially overwhelming concept for many people. Now, this fear of writing causes people to either put it off or not do it at all, with the main reason being is that they do not consider themselves writers. But here's the good news. You do not have to be a so-called writer to write good content for your website. What I want you to understand is that there's a difference between content being published in a newspaper and magazine versus content published on your website. Now, the nice thing is the content that you are creating for your website does not need to appeal to a broad audience, nor does it need to be broad topic specific. Your content is going to relate specifically to your audience. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's say you're in the tennis niche. You could publish 10 tips to hit a better forehand. Now, an article like this not only provides value for your target audience, but it's something you should be able to write about with very little thought behind it. You see, this is a subject very familiar to you, and the information is already inside your head. Now, another difference is the content you are creating is conversational in nature, and it's meant to be this way. Your post will use words like you, your, you'll, you are, and every now and then you'll throw in the occasional I, me, and we. Now, take note here. You want your content to center around your audience. You want to make it about them, not you. What is it that they are going to get out of it? Now, you're not going to find this tone in any type of piece of journalism unless they're in quotes. Newspapers and magazines are generally more formal, and they use a third-person perspective. Now, another difference is that web content is formatted for easy reading because a lot of content these days is being consumed on the cell phone. So you are not going to be using bullet points, numbers, and headings and subheadings to break up your content into bite-sized pieces. So what does all this mean if you're not a writer? Well, it means that writing content for your website is going to be pretty straightforward. You are going to write about things you know and what your audience will benefit from. You'll write conversationally, and you'll break up your content so it's easy to read online. You don't have to be perfect, and no one's expecting you to. Let's look into the process of creating some content for your website. Now, the simplest way to curate your content is to spend a few minutes creating the structure of your article. So start with the headline and the subheadings. Then fill in the content section by section. Do not attempt to write the whole thing out. This will only make it more difficult, causing you to procrastinate. Second, take the perspective as if you were writing a letter to a friend. You want to make it all about them. And then at this point, don't get bogged down with the grammar and spelling. You can go back later and make the edits. Your aim here is to get words on paper. Now, once this is accomplished, you want to add in your keywords so you can optimize your post for the search engines. Then you hit publish. Now, something I would suggest is to test and track your articles and see what your readers are responding to. And with a solid plan, you come across professional, and you can continue to write content your audience will respond to. So, I'll see you in the next video.